Okay, so these beds here are our winter beds, and all over summertime they've been under a tarpaulin. We use a tarpaulin as our weed control. So instead of using herbicides, we put a tarpaulin down and it solarizes the seeds. So it kills a lot of weed seeds, kills the weeds, and then after the heavy rains we take it off, and now we have to enliven the soil ready for planting. We're just experimenting now with these tarps. We're realizing that there's kind of like a time limit with a tarp, like a use-by date. So if you get them on the ground for 3 to 4 weeks maximum, you get yourself the effect. It kills the grass, kills the seeds. Beyond that, I think it sort of eliminates a lot of the oxygen out of the soil, and soil doesn't look as good. It's not as friable, it's a bit more heavier. So tarps should have a time limit on them, and I'd say it's probably 3 to 4 weeks. Where we've left the tarps on over the wet season, we come back and it's still wet under there. It didn't stop the rain getting in because the rain came in underneath, but all the soil flattens out, becomes boggy, and as a farmer you take it and you smell it and you go, you know what, it's anaerobic, something's not right there. So you have to start again. So this is after a very long period of tarp. We had a very long rainy period this year. We had 3 months of rain. And then we had extreme floods and everything else. So we're basically bringing this soil back to life. The tarps were part of it, but mainly it was the rain. And if those tarps wouldn't have been on there, maybe we'd have lost a lot of this soil, I don't know.
We can see down at this end, it's actually even wetter. I've still got quite a bit of moisture in the ground. Now we got frogs, we got snakes, we got rats, everything underneath here. But the bottom line is what's happened with this tarp down is we've broken down all of this organic matter. We've knocked off all the weeds that germinated underneath this. Now we need to get the tarp up so we can let the bed dry out.
So today we're adding some amendments, and by this afternoon we'll have these beds beaten into shape and ready for planting. Okay, we have Oscal, which is a water-soluble calcium that lifts the pH. So sometimes these soils can be a bit acid if they've been sitting under the tarpaulin for a while. So we put the Oscal in. Then we have a mineral mix. So it's a different types of rock ground up into a rock powder, and that gives our soil the minerals. And those minerals are translated through the plant into our body. So we're growing high nutrition food. And the last thing we put in is a little bit of organic pelletized chicken manure, and that's the nitrogen to offset some of the wood chips and some of the carbon that's still left in the soil here. Over the last 50 years, our soils have been depleted of many minerals, and this translates into the plants. And you can just see the health of humans going downhill as our soils go downhill. So here on an organic farm, where we really care about the quality of the food, we're putting all those minerals back into the soil, back into the food, and back into the people. I mean, I've been here just over a year now, and my health has improved out of sight just by eating the food. So who said let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food? Well, it all starts here in the soil. So in the soil here we got those amendments, plus we put a bit of compost in. And that compost is made from our own manures, our own wood chip, all the resources here on the farm put together and composted. So we're cycling all those things back in. So this is the way farming should be, and we can pass this farm on in 20, 30 years to the next generation, or a couple of generations ahead, and it's getting better and better and better. So it's just like sprinkling the top of a cake, I guess. We just sprinkle all these things in, and later on I'll bring a machine in and I'll cut these furrows, the pathways in, and that the side thrower throws the soil on top. So we'll have a nice tilt of soil on top of this. Richard later will bring the electric tilter in, and we'll tilt the top of that. And tilt is just the fine, almost like tea leaf powder you can get when you break the soil down to its smallest level for planting. And that means the bacteria and the fungi and all that sort of stuff is ready to rock. If it's all lumpy and chunky, it takes a bit longer for the plant to get itself going,
As we come into the winter, as we've had some growth in here, and we've grown 1 or 2 beds through here, we got plants going, this will really turn into fine, rich soil.
right now coming out of 2,000 mil of rain. Who knows, I can't even really use a number. 400 millimeter weekends. It's had a hard hit. So we've done the best we can. We've mounded, when you look at these beds, we've mounded them all up. We've raised them so that we can get the beds to drain. We are still expecting potentially rains even more extreme than what we've had. But we need to plant because we don't ever know. There's no certainty the weather's going to come in or not come in, but there's certainty that we need food. So, and there's also always the reality that these seedlings are ready to go in the bed. They've been ready for a week or two.
Asian greens, salads, salad mixes, beetroot, carrots, onions. We got a really good crop out of here last year in onions. Yeah, just we have a sort of like a list of 30 to 40 different plants we plant down here, and depending on what the kitchen wants and also our buyers, we plant those out in advance. So you got about 10 weeks between when we plant and when we harvest. And you can put as much amendments into a soil as if you want. If you don't have bacteria and fungi, the plants aren't going to benefit from it. You need the effective microorganisms in the soil to feed those amendments to the plants. That's their job. Farmers don't grow we don't grow vegetables. We grow soil, and the soil grows the vegetables. So a good farmer can taste soil, smell soil, look at soil. You know, some farmers even psychic, they can feel their soil, right? The soil is everything. So that's what we focus on, and then we know the good quality seedlings coming from behind are going into good soil. It's a match made in heaven, and we get great veggies.